Is this a reversal on the part of President Donald Trump, or is this a reaction to the terrible journey that Mnuchin and the others took to China, where they really came away with nothing?
It's a shift, right? I mean, it's very interesting to see that tweet that came from Trump yesterday when he said that he was concerned that China was losing far too many jobs by him, sort of basically bankrupting ZTE, the Trump administration. Trump did not run on the back of creating Chinese jobs. So, I mean, I think he'd like to take that tweet back if he could redo it. That was a little shooting from the hip. But it's very clear that Trump has wanted to find a deal with the Chinese on trade. That's why Mnuchin was sent with a pretty large delegation a week ago. I mean, all of the key economic advisors were there. The Chinese, of course, this week, sending their vice premier to Washington to try to make further movements on there. The Chinese have definitely expressed a willingness to deal, to buy a whole bunch of American goods, to try to reduce the deficit numbers, for example, if that's what makes Trump happy, as well as they've been facilitating the North Korea process. So I think that this is one of these places where if Trump can come up with something and say, you see, I pushed the Chinese and I got a better deal, he'd really like to say that.
But if you're pushing a 301 defense, this is what I don't understand. ZTE admitted that it illegally sold equipment to the likes of, Iran and North Korea that included US-sensitive parts. How do you say save ZTE jobs, we're going to help, and at the same time block companies that you think are, that might commit intellectual, crimes?
No, but that implies that Trump's priority is national security, as opposed to getting a better deal that he can say he got done. I mean, there's nothing we've seen from Trump personally that would make you actually believe that. You'd think that he wants to get a better deal, that he can say, look, I got this done. I mean, on North Korea, do we want denuclearization? He said so, but if he can come back and get something that said, see, nobody else could meet with Kim Jong-un, no one else got the 3 hostages released, no one else could get them to cease ICBMs, he'll take that. I mean, this is much more. This guy is under enormous pressure. His popularity is still comparatively low. The investigations are swirling around. The Democrats are going to be talking about impeachment if they win the House in November. I mean, this is not someone who's thinking about in 10 years, is American national security in technology vis-a-vis the Chinese going to be in parlous condition? This is someone saying, what am I going to do to advance my campaign promises? And getting something signed with the Chinese that is his. I mean, look, he said, maybe I'll think about TPP. And then he said, nah, I'm not going to, right? Because he needed to know if he could make that the Trump-Pacific Partnership, a new TPP with his name on it. If the answer was yes, I think he would have done it, right? But let's be clear that when you are the largest guy at the table, your ability to get people to do what you want is significant. The problem with ZTE is that the Chinese are actually about as big as the Americans.
Well, exactly.
They are a technology superpower. So if we tell them, we thump our chest and we say we want reciprocity, China will say, you know what, on technology, we don't need you. Facebook, Google, Amazon, none of them have access to China, and the Chinese companies are building their own, right? Their own AI, their own systems, their own 5G, that they want to ultimately be dominant, not just compete, but be dominant against the Americans. That's a long-term strategy. I don't see anyone in the Trump administration doing long-term strategy.